Here's our campground for the day. It's pretty nice. We're set up nice and level. We'll gather some wood and have ourselves a camp oven cook up this afternoon. So it's a couple of hours before dinner, about 3 actually, but I've got a fire going because I need to make a good bed of coals to put underneath and actually on top of our camp oven. You see it there just to the right. Hi, today I'm going to cook braised beef and chunky vegetables in a camp oven, but it requires some diced beef, some chunky size capsicum, red and green there. I've got some carrots, some onions, some spices, flour, paprika, chili seeds, and some Italian seasonings, so basil, oregano and thyme, some tomato paste, and some garlic, and some beef stock. So stand by, I've got to go preheat the oven now and then we will get going. I'm just going to preheat the camp oven now before getting the meat in, and to do that I'll take some coals from the fire which has been burning for an hour and a bit now. I'm just going to lay them down here, and that's going to be the base that the camp oven sits on. Doesn't need to be too much, but just enough that that heat will get up and into the cast iron pan. Put that on, and it's as easy as that. We'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, it's time to add the olive oil here. Oh, you can see it's nicely preheated. It says 2 tablespoons, or until the bottom of the thing's covered, so just pour it in until it covers the bottom of it. Now it's time to braise the beef, so hopefully there'll be a bit of sizzle here. And get this beef into this warm oil. It's 500 grams. Oh, beautiful. So half a kilo or a bit more than a pound. Well, that sounds like it's going to brown up pretty quick. Okay, this is browned up now. I'll need to add a couple more tablespoons of olive oil before I start adding the veg. It's time to add all of the chunky vegetables there now, so we give this a little bit of a stir. You can hear that still nice and warm in there. So you've got some carrots, some nice chunky onions. I'll get this garlic in. It's pretty healthy served garlic. I think it's about 6 cloves. So no friends for us tomorrow. And then the capsicum, nice green red stuff. And now stir all that in. Just have a look at all that sitting on the coals there now that the veg is in. Gonna mix up the seasoning, the flour and the seasonings with the broth. I'll mix that flour in with I'll top that cup up and mix it up, and then okay, so you stir this, get some of this in, and then whisk it around with a fork a bit. Anyways, I'll continue with this and get it into a bit of a creamy paste, no lumps, and then we'll be ready to pour it into the camp oven with the rest of the veggies. So just before I put the bulk of the liquid and the last of the potatoes and the mushrooms in, and the thickening agent and the tomato paste, what I'm going to do is put some fresh coals underneath to give it some heat, and then we'll add all the ingredients, pop the lid on, and let her cook. I'll add the broth and mix, so in total it's going to be 1 litre. Now I add the thickening agent with the seasoning and the flour, and now I'll give it a stir. We'll get these potatoes in, potatoes and mushrooms. Stir all of that in nicely, and I'll put the lid on and put some coals on the lid. Okay, so that's all the liquid. It's in there now. It's just about an hour or an hour 30 even, maybe. We'll just let that simmer down. I'll put the lid on, then I'll put some coals on the top of the camp oven and let the heat go from the top as well. and we'll come back in about an hour and a half. Okay, the lid for the camp oven, he goes on. It sits on there nicely, and now I'll just pile some coals on the top and a few around the side, and it'll just cook away in there. But it's dinner time, so it's just about done. I'm going to check. I think it's going to be right, so I'm going to take the coals off the top so I don't ice it too much. We'll have a quick look at this and give it a stir, but I think it probably should be ready. Oh yeah, it's bubbling away real nice. Don't know if you can see that from there on, but yeah, it's quite a bit thicker, I think. But that is a beautiful braised beef and vegetable in the camp oven. And here we are after about 2 hours, but if it was smell-o-vision you'd love it. It looks really great. We're about to sit down to a hearty meal of braised beef and chunky vegetables. It smells great. Hope you enjoyed the video.